University of North Texas. This is NTTV Nightly News.
Officials claim drones from Mexico forced them to shut down the El Paso airport. The latest ahead.
A new setback in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping investigation after key evidence was uncovered.
And as Valentine's Day approaches, we'll show you why the holiday may be trying to scam you.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Edison Stewart.
And I'm Alexandria Teeters. There is still a lot of confusion in the air tonight, hours after the airspace in El Paso was abruptly closed today. The FAA ordered that closure this morning, saying it would last 10 days. The airspace ended up reopening just 8 hours later. Cole Higgins has the latest.
The airspace over El Paso, Texas is now open after an unprecedented move in modern times.
You wake up in the morning and they're telling you, oh, don't bother going in, it's closed. And I'm like, how could a whole airport be closed?
Late Tuesday, the FAA abruptly issued a flight restriction that immediately grounded all flights up to 18,000 feet around the city for 10 days. The pause was due to, quote, special security reasons, according to the FAA's website, and it effectively shut down the El Paso International Airport.
This unnecessary decision has caused chaos and confusion.
El Paso's mayor calling the surprise closure of his city's airspace unacceptable.
Medical evacuation flights were forced to divert to Las Cruces. All aviation operations were grounded, including emergency flights. This was a major and unnecessary disruption.
Calls for clarification over the airspace closure are mounting. Multiple sources say a Pentagon plan to use a high-energy counter-drone laser without having coordinated with the FAA about potential risks to civilian flights prompted the shutdown.
Members of Congress should be briefed on it, and it's our job to find out if this is routine training or, we've seen these guys go around what they're supposed to do. That's our job, is to ask questions.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration says a Mexican cartel drone crossed into U.S. airspace, triggering the restriction. Cartel drones are often spotted near the border, but historically don't cause airspace closures. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Also today, the Trump administration faced heated questions on Capitol Hill over the handling of the Epstein files. Attorney General Pam Bondi testified before a House committee for over 5 hours. House members from both parties criticized her. The Justice Department recently released thousands of files related to Jeffrey Epstein in the investigation into child sex trafficking. Bondi responded by criticizing Democrats, but also offered an apology to Epstein's many victims.
I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information to share with law enforcement about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the FBI is waiting to hear from you.
As Attorney General, you're siding with the perpetrators and you're ignoring the victims. That will be your legacy unless you act quickly to change course. You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice.
Members of Congress also questioned Bondi about ICE operations and the investigations into 2 deadly shootings in Minnesota.
Edison, the walk to class has been pretty pleasant recently here at UNT. I feel like the weather's finally getting normal again.
I know, really hoping that, Texas decides to stay like this for a little while longer. Maybe even that groundhog was lying to us. We're gonna head over to our weather anchor, Emily Rice, to get a first look at the forecast.
Thank you, Edison. Thankfully, we are expecting those same cool temperatures to persist for now. Current conditions show temperatures at 62 degrees with a nice cool wind speed of 5 miles per hour, thankfully not changing how it feels. Tonight we can expect a drop in temperature to 49 degrees with little to no wind speeds, also not changing how it feels. Tomorrow's temperature, we will see a rise in the temperature to 69 degrees with a nice cool 6 miles per hour as our wind speed, also not changing how it feels. Thankfully, after all of those weeks with freezing weather, we'll finally be getting some cool temperatures. That's all I have for now. Join me for a full look at weather later. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Emily. With the job market for recent graduates as competitive as ever, UNT wants to give its students an edge. To that end, the university is joining other schools to give students a boost. NTTV's Ian Cropper is live with more. Ian?
Thanks, guys. We all love our university, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and soon, today's students will be tomorrow's workers. To help ease that transition, the university entered a program called the Work Integrated Learning Accelerator. Founded by Arizona State University with the financial backing of companies like J.P. Morgan Chase, the program aims to give students additional learning and experiences that will make graduates more competitive. However, UNT is far from the only school to buy into the program. Other notable names include Bowling Green State, Central Florida, and UMBC. Back in Denton, the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences has already started work on a pilot program guided by the accelerator. While a deal with the devil is normally ill-advised, this deal with the Sun Devils should help students better prepare for tomorrow. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ian. Well, Black History Month is often marked by reflection, but here in Denton, it's being lived out loud. Through music, memory, and movement, residents are finding that honoring the past can shape the future.
Black history isn't silent in Denton. It sings, it gathers, and it remembers.
We cannot advance into a prosperous future without that information, without that knowledge. You can't know where you're going without knowing where you came from.
Across the city, Black History Month events are transforming public spaces into places of learning and connection. One of those spaces, the MLK Junior Recreation Center. Hosted by Denton Parks and Recreation, this year's Black History Month celebration brought residents together to honor both national legacy and local impact.
The community is the answer. We must learn about each other. I believe that when we all come together, that we will be able to shift the culture of our society. Once we learn about each other, we will identify how much we have in common, and when we realize what we have in common, then the differences won't really matter that much.
The celebration showcased cultural pride through live performances and the recognition of essay and artwork winners.
They stood up for us, and so we could do the same thing when we get older, follow behind them because they're our leaders.
That pride is on full display closer to campus. At UNT, the Black Student Union is creating moments where Black history is not just remembered, but experienced.
Our mission is just to bring the community events that include them and make them seen, heard, and seen on campus. I know, like, as different minorities or just at UNT in general, there's always important to have a space that, like, makes you feel seen and valued.
For many students, these events are more than programs, they're affirmations.
So Black History Month is America, and I feel like it should be showcased no matter what time of the year, but of course highlighted during Black History Month.
From city-hosted celebrations to student-led movements, Black History Month in Denton is leaving a mark far beyond February.
Event organizers say events like these are designed to spark conversation year-round, ensuring that Black history remains a living, visible part of Denton's story.
Well, another important time in February is right around the corner. Ahead, we'll show you how to be your own Valentine here at UNT.
And as romantic as Valentine's Day can be, we'll explain how the holiday could also be scamming you.
What's up? Nothing much. I'm really bored. I feel like there's nothing to do.
Are you kidding? The MRTS picture show is happening.
The MRTS what?
Come with me.
Okay.
It's a series of free film screenings right here on campus. And there's free popcorn.
Nice. Thank you.
Investigators in Arizona released the man they detained yesterday in connection to the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case. That move came after the FBI released doorbell camera video from the night she disappeared. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
A man is speaking out after being detained and questioned by authorities over the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
And they told me I was being detained for kidnapping. And I asked them, like, well, kidnapping of who? And they told me this lady, I don't know her name. And
Nancy Guthrie?
Yeah, that's her. And I told him I work in Tucson for GLS. I might have delivered a package to your house, but I never kidnapped anybody.
The individual was detained during a traffic stop an hour's drive south of Tucson. Authorities executed a search warrant at a home and also searched a car. Both of those searches taking place in Rio Rico, Arizona, roughly 60 miles south of Tucson, near the U.S.-Mexico border. Authorities did not file charges, and he was eventually released. Those developments happening just hours after the FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Nancy Guthrie's front door, taken the night she disappeared. The video showed a masked, armed person with a backpack. There was an uptick in calls to law enforcement after the release of the footage.
This video was a game changer. We don't know how many tips they have had, but they are looking for the person on the porch or anyone who knows anything about him. And I do think it's just a matter of time before we know that person's identity.
In Catalina Foothills, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Well, Alexandria, after the sudden showers yesterday, it was raining. I wonder if that's going to stick around for the rest of the week.
You know, I hope it is, but let's go ahead and head over to our weather anchor, Emily Rice, to see what the rest of the week has in store for us.
Thanks, Alexandria. It's funny you bring up incoming showers because we can definitely be expecting some cloudy weather and even downpours here soon. Across North Texas, we can see the same temperatures pretty much around the entire area with low 60s, our highest being down in Dallas right here at 63, and our coolest being 60s around Bowie and Sherman. Across the state, we can see a trend of warmer weather over here in the west, down south, coming up cooling down as we head up northeast to Oklahoma City, sitting at a chilling 55 degrees. This week, as we head into the rest of the week, we'll be seeing more and more clouds hitting until we make it to Saturday with some pretty heavy thunderstorms at 85% chance of rain. Talk about raining the day with love. That being said, after that, we will be still expecting a rise in temperatures with our highest being at 79 degrees by next Tuesday. Make sure you keep all of your coats and your umbrellas nearby as we head into this Valentine's Day weekend. That being said, that's all I have for you tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emily. Valentine's is just a few days away, but the holiday is not just for couples.
NTTV's Alejandra Garcia is live at Rollins Hall to explain more. Alejandra.
Thanks, guys. Love is in the air here at Rollins Hall in this event hosted by the Student Health and Wellness Center, where students will have the opportunity to create their own bingo card while learning how to focus on their mental health. Now, while Valentine's Day is all about celebrating love, scammers use this celebration to target people looking for a relationship. Our reporter Cynthia Mendoza has more on this story. Cynthia?
Thanks, Alejandra. That's right. Valentine's Day is just a few days away. And while some may be celebrating love, others may be mourning a broken heart and an empty bank account. The FBI says romance scammers like to target people during January and February, looking for people who are looking for love. CNN reporter Jen Sullivan has more.
Valentine's Day is all about celebrating love. But for some, the holiday becomes an opportunity for something much darker. Romance scams. It's a special type of con that leaves victims with a broken heart and a drained bank account.
You create this trusting bond with this person, and once that they know that you trust them, they're going to start asking you for money.
Amy Knopfsinger with AARP works directly with people who have been victim to these types of scams. AARP says adults aged 50 to 64 are especially at risk of being targeted, and the FBI says it's because seniors tend to be more trusting and polite.
The loss of the hopes and the dreams that this criminal crafted for them is even more devastating.
These types of cons have skyrocketed in recent years. In 2020, financial losses from reported romance scams were $600 million. But in 2024, those losses jumped to $2.4 billion, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Knopfsinger says she worries those numbers are likely even higher because so many people don't report that they've been a victim.
They feel shame that they had this person, be so emotionally tied to them. They want to keep the victims silent.
Here's how to spot the red flags. The FBI says to be cautious if a person you're talking to on a dating app or social media site wants to quickly leave the dating app to communicate directly, or if the person makes excuses to not meet in person. And never send money to someone you have only communicated with online or by phone. If you do think you or a loved one has been a victim, you're urged to report it to the Internet Crime Complaint Center. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Now, this is just a loving reminder to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe this Valentine's season. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Cynthia. Mental health is being put on trial, and social media may be the reason why. Segment anchor Yadira Ovalle has more. Yadira.
It's responsible for Is social media responsible for mental health? Many believe so. There are arguments that Meta and YouTube have created addictive platforms and are now receiving lawsuits.
A historic trial and a first major test of whether social media companies can be held accountable for claims that their platforms harm the mental health of young users.
Psychologists have said consistently for decades that the younger a child is, the more vulnerable they are to any stressor.
The case centers around now 20-year-old Kaylee, who accuses Meta and YouTube of intentionally developing addictive platforms that cause her anxiety, body dysmorphia, and suicidal thoughts after she started using the platforms in early childhood. Her lawyer saying app features such as endless scrolling and the like button create instant dopamine hits that can lead to addiction, describing the swipe motion as the equivalent of a handle of a slot machine, saying every time she swipes, it's not for money, but for mental stimulation. YouTube and Meta have both denied the allegations in the lawsuit. Meta's attorney argued in opening statements that a difficult childhood, including reports she made to therapists of verbal abuse from her parents and bullying, led to issues, not social media use. For years, parents, health experts, and whistleblowers like Frances Haugen, formerly of Facebook, have called for more accountability and guardrails to protect young users.
For years, these companies have refused to take responsibility for any kind of harm. It makes perfect sense that the playbook would be to blame the victim.
The outcome of this trial could have major impacts, with around 1,500 similar lawsuits pending against social media companies. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
The trial is expected to run with the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, testifying on February 18th. That's all I have for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Yadira. As we focus on mental health, we can't forget about physical health, including the ongoing blood shortage.
And we have the latest on Olympic skier Lindsey Vohn's latest injury. Stay with us.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DatQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DatQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DatQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DatQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Just last month, the Red Cross declared a severe blood shortage. Despite efforts to rebuild the blood supply, inventory only continues to drop. Segment anchor Julianne Nguyen is here with the story.
Thanks, Alexandra. One act can save millions of lives. And after the major ice storm, we need blood more than ever. Last week, I spoke with UNT students who set up a blood drive in response to the blood crisis. Coming up.
Every drop counts. Just last month, the American Red Cross reports the national blood supply has dropped 35%, declaring a severe shortage. And that's why the TAM students at UNT have decided to step up.
So once I came to TAMS and UNT, I started getting involved in HOPE, our club, and a big part of our club is donating blood and encouraging students to donate blood.
HOPE Club members saw the dire need for blood and responded accordingly, setting up posters and making sure food was on the table. In turn, students from all across campus were showing up and showing out. Within the month of January, 400 blood drives were impacted by the winter storm. That, combined with cold and flu season, make a deadly combo.
Blood can't be manufactured, and it can only actually come from people. So our only supply of blood is from people. So we kind of need donors, and a lot of times there's blood shortages, and seeing how donating blood can actually help people go through surgeries, maybe be saved from car accidents and rare blood disorders, it's really helpful for local communities.
One single donation can save up to 3 lives. Truly, every drop counts.
To find your nearest donation center, visit redcrossblood.org or carterbloodcare.org. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Julianne. If you were tuning into the Winter Olympics after the Super Bowl Sunday night, you might have witnessed the unfortunate accident involving 3-time Olympic medalist Lindsey Vonn. Today, Lindsey updated her supporters on her Instagram after a successful third surgery to repair her broken left leg. The surgery was conducted to stabilize and minimize swelling in the leg. Vonn crashed moments into her comeback attempt in Milan. In the post, Lindsey says, quote, "Success today has a completely different meaning than it did a few days ago. I am making progress, and while it is slow, I know I'll be okay." Here at NTTV, we are wishing Lindsey a successful recovery.
You know, that looked like it hurt Lindsey really bad, but did you know she's not the only Olympic medalist who's hurting right now?
Now, what did the second athlete do?
Well, that's just the thing. This athlete from Norway isn't even being talked about due to their performance, but because of what they did after the event. Norwegian biathlete Sturla Holm Lagrade, who previously scored gold in the 2022 Winter Olympics biathlon relay, confessed on live TV to cheating on his girlfriend. Right after the 28-year-old won bronze in the men's 20-kilometer individual event, he came clean on the air, saying he recently had an affair. Unfortunately, now Lagrade believes that his guilt from his mistake has affected his preparation leading up to the Winter Games, and he is now trying everything to get back the one he lost.
Not long after the interview made headlines, Lagrade's reporter X told reporters that it's hard to forgive at the moment, even after that declaration in front of the whole world. At last check, though, the two are still in contact. And well, Alexandria, from cheating scandals to first place finishes, I have been so invested in the Winter Olympics.
I know, there's just a lot going on in the sports world right now, and with college sports well underway, there's so much more to discuss. Our NTTV sports anchor Jordan Lindsay has more. Jordan?
Thanks, guys. The Mean Green men's basketball team is back in Denton, ready to finish the season. I'll have a closer look after the break.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have 2 traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
Despite a rough start to conference play, the Mean Green men's basketball team is looking to finish strong. I went to the practice to see what they have in store for their next conference game this Thursday. The Dallas Mavericks lost their 8th straight game against the Phoenix Suns last night. Forward Najee Marshall was the leading scorer with 31 points, and Cooper Flagg scored 27. However, the Mavs could not complete a comeback and fell 120 to 111. They now drop to the 12th spot in the Western Conference, keeping them well out of the playoff picture. And also an update in a domestic violence case involving Falcons defensive end James Pierce Jr. WNBA star Rakia Jackson, the victim in this case, is willing to testify against Pierce. Police arrested Pierce on Sunday after Jackson said that Pierce followed her in his car and rammed her vehicle when she tried to enter the police department. Pierce later got into an altercation with the officers and attempted to flee before being caught. That's all I have for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jordan. You know, Edison, I heard you took a step into the sports world this morning, filling in as a sports anchor.
did.
What time did you wake up to prepare?
I think I woke up maybe around like 6 or 7 a.m., but it was really nice to get to the studio today and get a shot at the noon show.
Thanks for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.